This episode of Area Code Batavia is brought to you by the Rotary Club of Batavia, a membership organization that does a range of service projects for the community. If you're looking to get started making a difference in Batavia, you can find out more at bataviarotaryclub.org or click the link in the show notes. Hey everybody, you're listening to Area Code Batavia, a podcast about what it means to belong in Batavia, Illinois. I'm your host, Richard Clark. So today on the show, I have a conversation with Brittany Sabatino, the owner of Arlo.Hendrix, a store that carries children's clothes, toys, and accessories. Arlo.Hendrix is located in the heart of the Mercantile. It's that house-looking store located between the Boardwalk Shops and what used to be Berkeley's. But before we dive in, I want to mention something for our community members. If you're part of the 630, you'll be able to hear Brittany's Batavia Faves segment later this week, where she'll give us an insider's guide to some of her favorite places in town. If you're not already a member, you can join the 630 by following the link in the show notes. Between the candy and the candles, the Mercantile in general is this inherently bright experience. But for Brittany Sabatino, brightness seems to be this primary value for her shop. There's a distinct positivity you feel in both Brittany's presence and in her store. But the thing is, positivity is hard to maintain over time. It's easy to be positive all the time when things are going well. But in those moments when you're facing supply chain issues, an overloaded schedule, or a dry spell in your business, it can be harder to maintain those good vibes. Still, for Brittany, bright colors and positivity seem like they're part of her identity. So I wanted to talk to Brittany about how she maintains that kind of resilience, even when things get really busy, too hard, or too draining. In other words, how do you build a business on optimism and keep that optimism from running out? So, how's business? Let's start with that.
Well, shockingly, July has been a good month. It's like a thing in retail that the J months are the worst months. So it's like January, June, and July. I think I've been in retail so long that I just know that. I would never set like a budget for myself that would be unrealistic. So it's like that question's always hard. Like, how are things going?
I hate that question too.
I'm like, I don't know. I mean, in comparison to where I said I'd be, I'm doing fine. Yes. But I mean, you always wish there's more customers,
it's
right?
so binary for me. It's, can I still do this?
Yeah.
Right now I can still do this. So it's pretty good, I guess.
Yes.
But next month I might not be doing this. Who knows?
Yeah, it is. And it's very, this time of year, especially in the specific area of retail I'm in with clothing, and everyone really, but Q4 is your big quarter. And then you're really quickly followed by like your worst quarter, your hardest quarter.
Totally.
It's just a lot of thinking. Leases are up. Am I growing? Am I pivoting?
Existential questions.
Yeah. Because I have so many amazing, loyal customers and I truly love what I do. Yeah. But it's also, what's next? Am I going to pivot? Am I going to grow? Am I going to expand? It's just, my brain is constantly like, I have a new idea.
Totally. And to that point, you've been in a lot of spaces.
Yeah.
And the space you're in right now is the Mercantile.
Yes.
So we're sitting in the Mercantile.
Yes.
Describe this space and what it means to you.
To me, this is kind of like the perfect outcome of like my dream. Like I knew probably since I was like 5 years old that I was going to have a boutique. I played dolls all the time and it was like always set up as a store. I grew up with my mom owning a children's clothing store. Yeah. So it was like kind of just that thing that like one day I was going to have my own store. And once I had Arlo, it was very much, I don't know if I like want to work at all anymore. It's that battle I think most parents have is, you want to be with your kid as much as you can, even though, you need a break sometimes. I was like, I was working a full-time job at the time and I was like, I feel like I'm just missing so much. I actually worked it was a company in Naperville. It was a website company. They made websites for automotive. They actually did all digital marketing. Okay. So I was a product owner for them.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. And it was just, I don't know. It was like all that stuff together. And I felt like the Merc kind of came in as this point of you can actually do both here.
Oh, yeah.
You can have that store, but you can also still be like home with Arlo, you know?
Yeah.
Because everyone here is just, most of us are moms and we're all just like in this point of our lives that we just want both.
Right.
And we all like love and care about each other so much that it's easy for us to just make it work.
Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah.
So the space itself, like you are one, in case people don't know, the Mercantile is like a collection of different stores.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you are sort of right here in center. Describe like what you did to the space and why.
Yeah. I think one of the biggest questions we get here is like, what is this place? So, yeah.
Really?
Yes.
People just walk in and go, what is happening?
This place? I've always driven by. But you're right. It is 4 different stores and each one of us like have our own cash register. I mean, technically, like you can see we could close all the doors and be just one store.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's a lot nicer this way.
Yeah.
So for me, it was just about, I think, kids' clothes, they change size throughout the year so often. So it was important that I had wall space where like I could move things around.
Yeah.
I didn't want permanent fixtures. But I think I had Arlo in like the sad beige baby phase where like everyone was dressing their kid in like only neutral colors.
Okay.
And every nursery was like tan and like, and you know, nothing wrong with that. But I was like, we just like need color in our lives again. And it was like during COVID and I'm like, I just want things to be like happy. And I feel like colorful things make me happy. So I just really try to like bring color into it. Kept it kind of, I guess, neutral on the walls so that the color would pop. But yeah, I wanted it to be fun.
When did you decide to start Arlo.Hendrix?
I started 2020 officially, I guess about a year before that. My mom was closing her store down. They had sold her building and she, at the time, I mean, she was just ready to retire. I think she was like 65 years old. And so she said, you know, I still want to do something because I want to, you know, I think it keeps her feeling young. Yeah. And my grandma always worked with my mom. My grandma lived till she was 97. I think it was like the day she stopped working for my mom, we saw like her decline. So my mom was kind of like, I still want to do something. There's this place. It's called the Rustic Fox that I saw and I want to have my stuff there. And I was like, that sounds really cool, Mom. It would be great for you. And she's like, well, what if we did it together? And I think it was just like my grandma had like just passed away and I felt like this connection to do that with my mom. Yeah. And I had made like a couple things that we'd like sold in her store or whatever and they seemed to be popular. So I kind of just like dabbled in it then. Yeah. And then it was quite some time before that space opened at the Rustic Fox. So I was kind of like prepping, like simultaneously, Arlo was having all these really bad like skin allergies and stuff. And I was like, what is going on? And I went to school for fashion design marketing and I have a textile major. And I started like thinking about all this stuff and like looking at his clothes. I'm like, all these like chemicals in these clothes are like probably what's doing it. You know, we tried like, no dairy, we like tried all the things. Right. And there was a couple brands that I was buying and I kind of just stopped and I switched and I started doing some testing and that was what did it. So I was like, I don't want to sell stuff that is going to irritate kids. Yeah. So I just always tried to make sure that what I was making not only represented who we were as like a family, but also would be safe for kids to use.
So you sort of started as a partnership with your mom. Yeah. Yeah. And just selling things in her location. Yeah. And is she still involved in the business in any way other than being supportive?
Well, she does make all my hair bows. Okay. But she does just have her like thing and I have mine. Yeah. I was very open with her early on. It's really funny because like originally our space at Rustic Fox was together and very quickly I was like, we need 2 of our own spaces because like I have a vision and you have a vision and they do not.
You're like a business teenager all of a sudden.
Yeah. I was like, you could do your thing and I'll do my thing. Yeah. We just like the visual aspect of things, we had very different opinions. So it works better this way.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. So the moment that you decided to start this, I mean, okay, you were selling things in Rustic Fox. You said you framed it as dabbling. Yeah. And I feel like a lot of businesses start that way. was it sort of like, oh, this is working? Did you have a feeling there was a market for what you were doing at that moment?
Yeah, I did. I think after about I would say like 6 months to a year there, I really felt, I started to do more pop-ups and just reach out a little bit more.
Yeah.
I was still working full-time
at
my job at that point. And honestly, my job started to get very just not great.
Yeah.
When you work in the automotive industry and you're a woman, it's just very different. And I had a pretty I would say high up role. I was running the biggest product for the company.
Okay.
And I would sit in meetings and be like, no one's listening to me right now. Hi, I'm talking, but you could just keep talking over me. And they would. So I was I told my husband, I was like, all right, April 1st, I'm going full blown Arlo.Hendrix. I'm done. I'm quitting April 1st. And he was kind of like, okay.
Yeah. I mean,
okay.
Did he dialogue with that at all?
He's like, whatever, you want to do, we got to figure out how to make it work.
Yeah.
And so we sat down, we figured out how to make it work. And I put a Post-it on my computer and it said April 1st.
Okay.
And I quit on April 1st.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And did you start on April 1st?
Well, close, because I had applied to the boardwalk shops that year.
Okay,
so I
got
had
it.
found out at the end of March that we got accepted.
Okay, so that was really the big kickoff.
Yeah, that was kind of, I think, why I said April 1st. I was like, if we get in, I'll know by then,
So you were the first boardwalk shops?
I was 2022, so I was year 3.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I can't believe it's gone on that long.
I know, it's crazy. It's really crazy.
Yeah. So you started on the boardwalk shops, and how did that go?
It was amazing. It was such an awesome experience. I think for me, I took it very seriously. I was like, this has been my dream. I've basically been handed this opportunity to test my dream and see if it could become a reality. And I didn't want to mess it up. I didn't want to waste time there. Every minute I was there, if it was slow or raining, I was in my shop either making shirts, doing social media. I just wanted to make sure that the time I was there, it was all about how to grow my business. And then the time that I was at home was really about Arlo. I wanted to have that boundary to start.
Okay. I'm going to ask about this boundary.
Yeah.
Because it feels hard to maintain.
Yeah.
Your whole business is about your family. And I wouldn't say your family is about your business, but how do you keep it that way? How do you keep it so that you're not constantly blurring the line between family life and work life when so much of what you do is, literally the name of your business is your son.
Yeah.
So,
which sometimes I'm like, oh, should I have done that?
Yeah, I get it. But it is what it is, and it's beautiful and it's funny.
Yes.
So, how do you manage that?
Well, it definitely is not easy. There are times where I fall apart big time.
Okay.
But honestly, I would say, I'm very fortunate that Tony, my husband's always been very supportive from day one. So he will pick up and do anything really that I say. He's kind of the tech guy or the lifting guy. He comes to almost every market with me. You know, my mom helps with Arlo a ton.
Okay. Yeah.
But I really just try to set, if I'm going to be working till midnight, because that means I get to have dinner and put him to bed, then I'll work till midnight. I have a very limited social life.
Yeah.
I made a rule for myself 2 years ago that I'm not accepting more than one evening event a week. So I started to notice
personal wise or just in general?
Either. I started to
So you're not out of the house more than one time a week?
At night. Missing bedtime.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. I think it's hard because when you are starting your business, it's networking.
Yeah.
And you get invited to 600 networking events every day. You want to meet these people. There's this event. And I got to a point where I was like, I can't do this.
Totally.
Because it started to wear on me. And I am a homebody. I do like to be home.
Yeah.
So unless it's an extreme, there's a wedding on Saturday and I'm going to go out a Thursday night. But it's just, my husband works some nights. So I'm really, we had 1 or 2 nights a week together.
Yeah.
And I was leaving and doing all this stuff for the business. It's just got to be true.
So what do you do to feel like you are part of the community then, if you're not out doing things at night?
Yeah. I think just during the day, I try to bring Arlo with me to as much as I can.
Yeah.
Now that he's in school, that's a huge
huge
help.
That helps, yeah.
But I started immediately after Boardwalk volunteering with Main Street. I got involved right away with the Boardwalk shops. But I think just shopping local and being a face locally is huge. A lot of events in town are for kids. We do library things all the time. We go to the park district stuff all the time. Popsicles at the park the other night. I just try to be there and do things that we can all do together.
Yeah.
And if not, that'll be the one thing I do without him, or I say, okay, I'll go, but it's like I'm going from 5 to 6 and then I'm going to be home for bedtime.
Yeah. You mentioned that sometimes you fall apart.
Yeah.
Like, what's that? Why are you falling apart?
All the things.
Yeah.
It's like, it'll probably happen soon because we're coming into Q4. All the fall inventory that I ordered in February starts coming like this week and next week.
Okay.
So you get 300 boxes to unpack. Then, and it's baby stuff. So every individual thing is wrapped by itself.
Right.
Yeah. So I'm like recruiting.
I never thought about that. You got to do all that stuff. Yes. That's crazy.
Yeah. Then it's, got to get entered into the computer, and it's it's a lot of stuff. I'm also making my fall collection.
Okay.
So right now I'm kind of like making Christmas stuff, but it's like you're making all that at home. It's summer.
Yeah.
So, and Arlo's going back to school. So it's when it gets to be like, I don't know where to focus first.
Yeah.
I start to like panic because I like to have a plan.
Yeah.
And if something kind of like steers my plan really in the wrong direction, I can't catch up.
Yeah.
Then I will be like, okay, I need help. Someone help me.
Funny listening to you because I feel like I relate to so much of what you say. And then there are other parts I just super don't relate to. I'm very different.
Yeah.
And the word that keeps popping in my brain as you're talking about all of this is burnout.
Yeah.
I'm curious if you are conscious of or you struggle with this idea of burnout, because for me, it's constant. I have to really watch out. And honestly, and this may be a 2-kid versus 1-kid thing, but the kids are a stressor in my life, just undeniably.
Oh, yeah.
When I'm hearing you talk, though, and maybe it's just branding, I don't know. But when I'm hearing you talk, it sounds like your kid is less of a stressor and more of a breath of fresh air or something. Do you is that ever different?
Oh, no, for sure. I think we're at a point now where I can say to Arlo, Mom needs a timeout.
Yeah.
I'm going to go take a timeout.
Yeah.
And I think it wasn't always easy in that way, but he's getting to a point where he can get that. Yeah. Because he also will tell me, like today we were at the park. He's like, Mom, I need to go home. Like, I'm done. And I'm like, okay. And he's like, I just needed this time. And I'm like, yeah, sometimes I need that time, But I have been very into reading the past year or so, different books about boundaries. And I learned I did not have any. And so really learning those, but I'm trying to also teach him those at the same time. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I absolutely get burned out. I mean, that's another reason why I can't go out at night. Like someone will be like, do you want to go to dinner at 7 or 8? I'm like, what? That's insane. Yeah. I'm half asleep by 7 or 8. But I think like I have to say to people sometimes, I go to bed at 9 o'clock at night and I don't know, they're still my friends the next day, but
that's good.
It's just one of those things where I'm like, that's me. Or you have to tell me like 2 weeks in advance if you want to hang out with me because my calendar is crazy. Right. But I feel like people have like learned that about me and they know that if they just like call me last minute, I'm probably going to be like, sorry. And that's like anyone, my mom, my sister. It's just, it was hard for me to say that at first. But I think once I got in the habit of it, I think people just know that.
It is what it is.
It is what it is.
Yeah. It's like a physics thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, won't fit. Right. Does not fit.
Right.
Yeah.
And my calendar is like my lifeline.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a lot of puzzle pieces, but make it work.
When you started Arlo.Hendrix.
Yeah.
Arlo.Hendrix?
Yeah. I don't know why I did that, but that's how it is. Yeah.
I was like, how am I supposed to type this?
Yeah.
When you started it, how did you expect that it would pan out?
I just thought it would be like a little, like I would be doing pop-ups around and it would just kind of be my stuff only. I would never expand out of my private label. I would just kind of have the stuff I make and that's it. So yeah, this was shocking to me in like a good way, but I mean, it was what I wanted, but I didn't think that. I was like, that won't happen.
Why not? Why didn't you think that it would happen?
I just felt like, people can go to Target. Why would they want to come shop with me? Or
interesting.
Yeah.
Right now, a lot of people are saying that's happening though, that people are just going to Target.
I think we're riding that wave again.
Yeah.
I've noticed. I always tell people I buy my kids' clothes from Target too sometimes, like I try to buy him like the nice things here or like the different things. I bought, I think like 30 pairs of pants last year because I kept being like, why is he growing so fast? Yeah. And he is growing. But then I washed a pair of pants from Target and they shrunk 2 inches. And I was like, I'm just spending this money because the fabric is shrinking. Really, if I bought probably like a pair of pants, in comparison from, say, Gap, I might have a better pair of pants on hand where I didn't have to spend this much money buying 30 pairs.
Right.
So, yeah, I get it. You can't spend all your money in a small business store, but I think when you need those like nice special things, and that's kind of what helped me grow as I started to see a lot of people come here for like baby gifts, birthday gifts. I think birthday gifts are a huge one for us. So people can come in and buy those kinds of things here that are different, and then maybe something that's more unique.
Yeah.
Maybe pick up something cute for their little one's first day of school or whatever, Christmas outfit or Thanksgiving dress. And
Now it's time for another installment of Giving Back to Batavia, brought to you by our sponsor, the Rotary Club of Batavia. On each installment of Giving Back to Batavia, I'll talk to someone about their experience serving in Batavia and how we can do the same as a sustainable and fulfilling part of our lives. For this episode, I spoke to two longtime members of the Batavia Rotary, Tony Winter and Lauren Newman, about how they find the time to serve their community, even during the busier seasons of their lives.
I always come away from service just feeling an inch taller and everything is lighter and the sun's a little brighter. And even though I have a very, very busy schedule, I try never to miss just because of the way that I feel walking out the door.
Oh, yeah. You develop this service mentality or a service heart.
Yeah.
And it almost seems like the more you do, the more you want to do.
Yeah.
So you just find the time to do it.
Oh, that's interesting. You mentioned being busy. This is the big question that I have, and I suspect our audience has. A lot of people have kids, young kids. A lot of people have hard jobs, busy jobs. How are you both fitting in regular service in addition to all of these things? How do you maintain that lifestyle when things get crazy in your life?
What has made it much easier is that someone else has taken the time to do all of the things necessary to set up that service project being there, accept a sign-up genius, and it ends up in a space in my calendar. And then you guard that time.
Yeah.
Because of how your life is enriched by having the opportunity to participate in those events.
Yeah.
Because the more you do it, the more you want to do it. And like Laura said, you'll find the time. And particularly when there's someone in the organization who's organizing everything, they may have spent 8 or 9 hours getting things ready and getting signed up and inviting people, but you may have to devote an hour or two on a Saturday morning picking up trash along Main Street. And as long as there are people who take the time to organize it and make sure that it runs smoothly, it makes it that much easier for other people to fit it into their busy schedules.
Right. I worry about burnout a lot. One of the things that's occurring to me, and this is so obvious, but there is a paradigm shift that helps with this where a lot of people think of volunteering as free work. And what you're actually talking about is receiving an opportunity for free community and free belonging and hanging out. And it doesn't feel like this is an opportunity necessarily for burnout if you're doing it the right way.
Absolutely.
Exactly, yeah. I could see somebody getting burned out if they just got so focused and gung-ho that they wanted to do everything.
Yeah.
At some point they're going to say, wait a minute, I can't do all of this anymore. But you have a choice of getting involved in something or not. When there's enough people involved, you can bring the right amount of people to a project without any one person getting burned out because they have this choice of well, if I can't make this one, there's another one in 4 weeks.
Yeah.
That really helps with the lift when you've got many hands.
Giving Back to Batavia is brought to you by the Rotary Club of Batavia, a membership organization that does a range of service projects for the community. The Rotary Club of Batavia are neighbors, community leaders, business owners, and global citizens. Their work includes support for local, national, and international service projects. If you're looking to get started making a difference in Batavia, you can find out more at bataviarotaryclub.org or click the link in the show notes. So when you started at the Boardwalk Shop, I mean, it sounds like your ambitions were like tempered a little bit. Like, I don't do that, unfortunately. And I hate it. And I tend to like imagine the best possible scenario and then talk myself into why that's probable.
It's a good thing to do.
No, it's not. It's the worst.
Positive.
There's so many reasons it's bad. But like, what causes you to temper those ambitions in that way?
I think it's just like expectations versus reality. I've
Okay.
been hit with that, I think, quite a few times in life that I'm like, okay, realistically, I'm not going to be the guest designer at Target one day or wherever it may
Well,
be.
you mentioned too that you have all these ideas.
Yeah.
And are you good at trying those ideas? Are you good at like attempting things?
Yeah, I think so, but not all of them. I think there's some I get like scared of. Like I got my master's in like adult education because I like love teaching, which is another reason why I wanted to be on the boardwalk committee, because I like think it's so cool that we like have the opportunity to help these people.
Yeah.
And I was like, that would be my dream, to be like a retail like consultant and go in and help all these people. And I was like, all right. And I kind of started it, and then it hit with summer, and I'm like, I just don't have time for that right now. You know, and it's like, of course it's something I'd still love to do.
Yeah.
But to manage like both, it's hard. And this obviously has to be the priority of the business.
Yeah.
But there's stuff like for this store that I want to try. Like August 1st, I'm planning to launch here partial consignment, because I think kind of what we talked about with Target and like different, you know, the big box stores, people spending money there.
I love that.
And I know I love to shop consignment. I love vintage shopping. It's one of my favorite things to do. And I thought, you know, if that's kind of what my customer needs right now, then let's try it. Yeah. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. So that's one of the things I'm going to try right now. That's been in my head for a while, but I was scared to execute it. I didn't know what are my customers that are like not into consignment going to be like, oh, and then, you know, I don't know, but I'm going to keep it. I'm going to do both. I'm going to keep it, you know, the new stuff, and then have the consignment too, but just kind of scale it back a little bit.
That's cool. When was the first time you felt like you belonged in Batavia?
Oh, I could tell you like the exact moment.
Okay, awesome. I love that.
I don't know the date, but it was before I was at the boardwalk shops. It was 2 years before that, right when I opened and I started doing markets. My very first markets I did were the Artisan Collective.
Okay, yeah.
And I'd always lived in like the Tri-Cities after high school. Like my mom moved to Geneva, so we'd always been out here. And because I went to high school and college, like in the other suburbs that were further west, I was like, oh, I just want to be by my friends, you know?
Yeah.
And then once like I got married, I was like, no, we need to be in the Tri-Cities. It's amazing. Well, Tony and I bought a house in Elburn. We lived there, I think, for 2 months, started Artisan Collective, and we were like, we literally both looked at each other and, oh, we picked the wrong town.
Wow.
Yeah.
Dang.
We truly spent like the next 2 years looking for a house in Batavia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We shade to Elburn, apparently.
I know. Sorry if you live in Elburn.
That's okay. Not many.
Place,
we don't have many listeners who live in Elburn. So I'll ask you this way. What made you feel like, okay, so first of all, 2 months.
Yeah.
2 months.
Yeah.
Did you buy a house?
Yeah.
That would be a situation where I'm not even letting that enter my brain. You know what I mean? I mean, there's a specific type of person who even allows that to be a thing.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask, what was so wrong with Elburn? I've got to know.
It just, so.
For
like,
you.
Yeah.
And we're just framing it look, everything is for someone and it's fine.
Yeah.
It's different values and priorities, and it is what it is. So for you, what was wrong with it?
I mean, you have to remember at this time, Arlo was like 1.
Yeah.
And it was like COVID.
Yeah.
And
oh my gosh.
there was nothing to do. I mean, I literally walked around the block with this kid and went to like the 3 parks in Elburn every single day for like a year and a half. I felt like, so there was like that, you know, during the time. But it was like the thing, you move in and you like didn't meet your neighbors. No one was really that. I think it was like a year before any of our neighbors came out and said hi to us.
Yeah.
There's also a sportsman club.
Okay.
That because of where we were in Elburn, we would hear gunshots going off all night long.
Oh my God.
And when we moved in, like when we were looking at the house, we didn't hear it because it wasn't there. Yeah. Like it wasn't open that day.
Yeah. Okay.
So we'd be like laying in bed at 10 at night and you'd hear and I was like, this is awful.
Yeah. Not cool.
Yeah.
Not cool.
And we had this nice, beautiful backyard and we'd sit out there and it would just hear gunshots. Our dogs would be terrified of the gunshots. So like we couldn't get our dogs out. It was just like a hassle.
Yeah.
But yeah, it just, you know, it's a beautiful place and it's like very peaceful and quiet and pretty, but it just wasn't like for us.
Yeah.
It just felt like we needed a little bit more.
So 2 months in, you start looking for a different house.
Yeah, my sister is my realtor. I think she wanted to kill us. And I was very like, look, we're going to stay here. But if something should come up. And yeah, she's like, good luck. Batavia stuff sells like so fast. So we knew it would be a long haul.
So then you moved to Batavia. How much longer did that take?
Yeah, I think it took 2 years. So we're on year 3 right now being here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you say the moment you felt like you belonged, or did I just totally interrupt you?
No, it was like the moment we belonged.
When you moved here?
Oh, no, we said that like 2 months in, and then it took the 2 years till we actually bought a house here.
And then you were like, but did you always like, okay, so when did you feel like you belonged in Batavia though?
I think at that artisan collective.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow. I totally forgot.
No, it's okay. We just had the coolest customers. Like I have a customer that, can I shout her out, Candace?
Yeah, go for it.
So Candace, who like literally was pregnant with her baby the first time she came, and now they're still like one of my best customers. It's been so cool to see like her daughter grow up.
Yeah.
So many people who were like genuinely excited to see me there and just had great conversations. And it just felt, we're like little quirky. And I'm like, I just kind of felt like these people were like us, like the community just felt so cool and accepting. And I just thought like, I just want my kid to be going to school in like a community where it's just, we love everyone that's here.
Yeah.
And Batavia is awesome.
Yeah.
It's like, what else could you ask for,
Yeah.
So.
Did you ever struggle to find that though?
Here?
Yeah.
I think it's when your little one starts school, like this year, kindergarten, it's interesting because it's like a lot of people know me from the business, but I don't also want that to be like my identity at school for him. And I like never want anyone to ever feel like pressure to like shop at my store because they, I never want that. I just want to be like Arlo's mom at school. And if I can help with a fundraiser, I will. But I just don't. I think that part's like awkward for me. I'm trying to figure. I'm kind of socially awkward, I feel like. So
yeah, I feel you. I mean, I relate.
I'm like, okay.
And it's hard because it's a huge part of your identity in reality.
Yes, it
and
is.
you're trying to compartmentalize a little bit. It's tough.
Yeah, how I've always taken the phrase of build your village. It's kind of like these are the people that my kid's going to grow up with, and I want to be cool with their parents. And it doesn't mean we all have to be best friends, but if my, little one's going to someone's house or they're coming to mine, I want them to know we're safe and everything's cool. So you're kind of like already trying to feel that out and meet those people.
Was there a moment after starting this business when you questioned everything?
Like every day. That's what keeps me up at night. No,
Yep.
I think every January I question it because you just go through this cycle of a crazy like high essentially. And then you're just like, and it's scary because, even though I know it's going to be slow and I expected it, it still just feels scary like every time. And I think that's just like the joy of retail. I think working in retail my whole life, like that's what we've always dealt with. But it is scary, you're like, am I going to pay my rent? Am I going to do this? Or am I, like I mentioned earlier in February, I have to go buy everything for Christmas or like Halloween, Christmas, fall, all that. And so it's like, you have to go spend like all this money and then, but you like aren't having any come in. So you have to budget properly like in Q4. So it's just, it feels a lot scarier, I think, than it is. And honestly, right now, with just things going on in the world, it's a lot of those orders I'm getting, emails of, sorry, we're 6 to 8 weeks late. And I'm like, I can't have Halloween stuff in November. It doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
But you get fined if you cancel orders. So you're like in this place of, what do I do? Or prices are going up.
Yeah.
That's something I think I've always tried really hard to stay firm with. And, there's brands I'd love to carry here that have the cutest stuff, but I'm like, there's no way I wouldn't spend it. So I'm not going to, I'm not going to ask my customers to.
Yeah.
So it's hard. I've had to say goodbye to some of the brands that I love. There's a hair bow brand that I just like adore. And to ship my order, for example, was like $600-700. To ship it was $900.
Wow.
Because they're in the UK.
Wow.
So I just, I had to cancel that.
Yeah, you
order.
can't do that.
It's just, so that stuff it's hard right now. You're like, you want to make your customers happy. They're coming back for things they love.
Yeah.
Are they going to be okay with the changes? But I feel like they trust me enough to know I'd make good choices. But yeah, I'm constantly like, I don't know what I'm doing.
Right.
I hope this works.
Does it help to be in a place where other people are experiencing those same things?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's nice. Like, we're really big sounding boards off each other, or like venting out, like just randomly in our group text, be like, I don't know what to do,
Yeah.
or we need to have a meeting. Just like pure panic.
Yeah.
I tend to be like the panicker.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or that I'll say all the things that are in my brain. I'll be
Sure.
like, okay, verbal vomit. I'm okay now.
Right.
I tend to do that. And
Yeah.
then, Susie will kind of calm us all down. I've learned with Tony, I have to say to him, like, I'm going to vent a lot of things. You don't have to solve it for me.
Yeah.
But let me just say all the things right now. And
Yeah.
he's like, okay. And then I'm like, okay, thanks. I feel better.
That's good.
But yeah, I have to get it out. Otherwise, I'll just hold on to it and it will, cause a lot of anxiety.
Totally. What has running a business in Batavia taught you about yourself?
I definitely have tenacity.
Mm-hmm.
I think, just that I should trust myself more because you do have to pivot. I mean, there's a lot changing in this town all the time. And I mean, you have to think every year we get a new boardwalk shop group.
Yes.
And every year, as amazing as it is, because it brings so much to the town and the program obviously helped all of us in such amazing ways.
Yep.
You're also like, I hope someone doesn't come and sabotage my
Totally.
business,
Yes. Yep.
So
Are you dialoguing with them about that
yeah.
in general?
Well,
You're
I
like,
get to
you're
help
not talking to
him.
any kid stores, are you?
I think, that they would have been cautious anyway. And I'm not opposed to like competition. I think I've always believed that with retail, like communities competition. But I just think like Batavia isn't there yet. Where we are like a shopping destination.
I get what you're saying.
So if you're, if you think of like your favorite beach town you go to and you shop on the strip and 10 Ron John shops, that's fine. There's 50,000 people here.
Yeah.
It's no big deal. But when you're like here and we're not quite there yet with a retail destination, it's I don't want, you don't want that.
You don't want a direct competitor.
No.
Yeah. And we should say they've been pretty clear about they're looking for businesses that complement what's already here.
They do.
It's a clear stated purpose. So
it's
that's
so
good.
Yeah. And I think that just shows like how awesome the program is.
Yeah.
Is that, they really care about not just sending you off and taking you through the program, but it's we're going to still continue to support you in our community.
It's a really interesting point though, that because of that and maybe other factors, which I'm interested in you talking about if there are any, there's a lot of change that always happens in Batavia that you have to adapt to.
Yeah.
I'd never thought about that before.
Yeah.
But it is kind of true.
Yeah.
There's shops opening, there's shops closing. Right now, it's feeling a little existential. There are a number of shops closing.
Yeah.
And then moving, and it's just like hard to keep track of almost.
Is. Yeah.
So how does that affect your day-to-day sort of thinking and pivoting? Like, how does that play into what you're doing?
I think it honestly, it does cause a lot of anxiety.
Okay.
I think especially right now because so many big things have happened. I think like Pretty Pages and Hearth and Hammer closings, that's so sad to all of it, to the whole town. We love them, but they just add to us,
And so that's right over there. And then right on the other side is Berkeley's.
Yeah, Berkeley's. Yes. So we're kind of in the middle of the walking path, I always say Batavia is so loyal to Batavia. Everyone hears that. Batavia loves Batavia. And I think for me, it's like I never question that my Batavia customers will ever like stop supporting me. Obviously their kids might grow and things like that, but they'll always be so loyal. But it's like the other people that are outside Batavia that you need to come in. You can't just rely on 50 great customers to support your business.
That is the tension, right?
Yes.
Where, I'm feeling it as the person who has a podcast for just Batavia.
Yeah.
Is this enough?
Right.
And there's this tension that Batavia is feeling. And I think having hosted this podcast for like a year and a half, talked to different people, there is this feeling of, man, I love what it is. Do other people that aren't here love what it is? And there's that question.
Yeah.
And it's funny though, because I talk to people in Aurora that are like, I love going to Batavia.
Yeah.
But North Aurora, surely people like to come to Batavia. So there is a thing happening where we're kind of a destination now.
Yeah.
And the boardwalk shops help with that, I think.
I think so. I think we're getting there. I think, obviously it's going to take time, but I think, I just want them to come here and stay here, not come and leave. And I think the more we have, more restaurants and more shopping. And even, as much as I would hate to see a medical office or like a business that, I would never want to see it on the main road, but just in the area, like those people all need to go out to lunch.
Yeah.
They all need to shop, and they don't live here always. So they're excited to go explore, get out of their office and walk around. I think the more, trust me, that's the last thing I would want. But the more you have these
yeah, totally.
These people who are
anything
willing,
that brings people in. Yeah.
And to just stay. Or there's one customer I love. He walks here every day from all the way down 31 or every week, and just checks in. I just want to see what's new. I'm like,
Nice.
I love that,
That's cool.
And if we could just get more people to do that, I think, or just, come to the farmer's market, go to the boardwalks and stay for the day, I think that would be.
Yeah, I love that. What's your biggest struggle?
In life or
just whatever you want to talk to. In life is great.
I think it is, still like boundary setting and balancing, because I know I made it sound easy, but it is hard, especially like with people that, you're either really grateful for their support or you're like family, it's just, you don't want, it's like you want to be this person who's like available all the time to help your customers,
right?
But you also can't be answering messages about, do you have this in a size 3 on your social media all the time when you're like, you could just click on the website.
Right,
you have
right.
to set those kind of boundaries.
Yeah.
And I think it's not a bad thing, but it's hard because you just want to be like, nope, I'll drive to my store right now and go check for you, or I'll drop it off at your house, or do all these things, because that's part of who we are. But I'm also like, okay, I can't kill myself doing it.
Right. Okay. So something I've struggled with as a parent is balancing. This is sort of like the Batavia tension we've talked about.
Yeah.
Insular versus not insular.
Right.
And as a parent, I think especially during COVID and all of those things, you really find yourself being home a lot. You talked about being a homebody.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah.
And it took a lot for me to get out of the house.
Yeah.
To take the kids out of the house. How do you, listening to you, I'm like feeling 2 messages here. I'm feeling 2 things, which I'm sure you feel every day.
Yes, every day.
Which is like, I want to be with my family and present with my family and not burn out and all of these things, but I also want to be out in the community.
Yeah.
And like, how do you manage those 2 things, like being present in the community and feeling like you're connected to all of this stuff that you moved here for from Elburn?
Yeah.
Like, how do you balance that?
I think, honestly, I saw the biggest shift in like the stressors of that when Arlo did start school. I think in the summer, if you follow me on social media or like you get my emails or any of those kinds of things, you've seen it fall off in the summer. Like I definitely take a step back, but I also know June and July are my slowest months. Yeah. I don't need to be posting every single day. Yeah. I don't need to like email people every single day, because most of my customers are doing the same thing. They're either out with their kids all day or they're at work. Yeah. And most of us are all like, wiping our kids' dripping sweat off, or they're soaking wet from being in a pool or whatever it is. So it's like they don't need to come in here and buy new clothes during summer. Yeah. So I think for me, it actually took a lot to realize that and to tell myself like it was okay to step back. But I do, when he is in school, I do amp up that a lot. Yeah. I try to be that presence a lot more. And I even this year went as far as telling my customers, like, this summer I don't know how many I've left until he's ready to be like Mr. Independent with his friends. So I'm soaking it up. You're going to see less from me. I'm still here. I still post, but like, it's not what it was. And I think as long as you can be like really transparent about it, especially this community, they're like, yeah, we get it. And they see us out. I feel like if you've ever met Arlo, he's more he's like he's the extrovert. So he just handles it. He'll talk to everyone and he'll tell everyone now, my mom's store is named after me. It's such a burden on him. But I mean, it did take that shift this year, I will say. I think before that it was messy and it was hard. And I was always trying to figure that out. But with him starting school so soon, I've already gone through and been like, okay, these are the days that like I will work from home and make stuff. And then these are the days that I'll like take meetings or go, do a networking event or whatever it is. Right.
What I'm feeling from you is that most of your socialization for you probably comes from work.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I obviously have, it helps that like one of my best friends is my neighbor.
Yeah.
So we'll do like walks.
That's cool.
And has also a little one that's like in Arlo's class. So like we'll take walks together and, do that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I feel like a lot of the friends you make when you're a business owner are also business owners.
Yeah.
So we all get it. We're all in that same boat of like, sorry, I'm working tonight, or sorry, I'm exhausted. I'm going to bed at 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
And then a lot of my other friends, they live like where I grew up. So it's like a planned day,
Yeah.
or it's, our kids are getting together. We're getting together with kids. And my husband will always say that. He's like, you have so many friends. Your life's so social. I'm like, because I'm out with Arlo all day. I'm meeting up with like my other friend who has a little boy, and we're just playing at the park. And that's my social exhaustion for the day.
Right. What is it about Arlo.Hendrix that could only be done in Batavia or would only work in Batavia?
The bulldog gear.
The bulldog what?
Like the
gear. Yes, totally.
like a fun take on the bulldog gear.
It's cool too.
Yeah. I think honestly that's a new version of Future Bulldog, but that was my biggest thing with the Artisan Collective.
Yeah.
I also think the like activities that we would do, we haven't done a lot this year, but I thought I tried to center around like Batavia things, like whether it be like a windmill or, that kind of stuff. But this year, we added more shops in here. So space got a little difficult for those kind of events and stuff.
Cool. Yeah. What keeps you up at night?
Right now, it's my fall shipment arriving on time.
Yeah.
I think that's a big one. Also, I'm so like out of the world of TikTok, and I feel like I need to get on board with these TikTok, like people selling stuff on TikTok, and I should probably have my stuff on TikTok. And then one day I got an order from TikTok, and I'm like, am I even on? Like, I'm so embarrassing when it comes to that stuff. I feel like I'm really great with Instagram, and I used to work for a digital marketing company. So I'm like, I really know Facebook, SEO. Like, I know all that stuff.
Totally,
but TikTok, I'm like, what? I am officially that age of this is a world.
It's a real learning curve.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think they email me like 10 times a day of update this in your shop and do this. And I'm like, I don't know. So like.
So you're set up on there. You're just not sure what to do after that.
And I'll lay in bed and be like, what if I did this? Or tomorrow I'm going to watch like a video, and then that doesn't happen. And
To you.
Yeah.
What does it mean to belong in Batavia?
Like what word or what? Like.
However you want to answer that question. People will go all sorts of angles with it.
I could say so many things. Honestly, I think my favorite thing about Batavia, or not my favorite thing, what it means to belong, I think is to just be like a good person. I feel like this town the majority is good people. I think they're like just down to earth, honest, cool people.
Yeah.
Everyone's pretty chill. I think people are very like welcoming and accepting of everyone.
Yeah.
And I think that for me, it's just my vibe. You go to some of the other surrounding cities and I'm like,
they're bad people.
No, but I'm just like not dressed up enough, and I feel like maybe I'm being judged, or you know what I mean? Like here it's like you just be you, and like people are kind, and it's really cool.
How do you define what good is though?
That's a hard one. I didn't know you were going to ask me that.
Well, I just asked follow-up questions. That's fine. Yeah. Nice.
Kind. I'll go back to kind.
Kind is good.
I just think being kind. Just be kind to people. It's not hard.
Yeah. I like that.
Yeah.
Where do you find the most kindness in Batavia?
Ooh, that's a hard one. If I have to pick one.
Where do you tend to find kindness in Batavia?
I think, I spend a lot of my time, I should say, like down the main strip here. I think walking into Paula's is like exuberating kindness. Limestone is full of people, just kindness. Yeah. I loved that at Hearth and Hammer. I felt that just like any of the shops. I mean, we love going. Like records, music. I mean, obviously his name's Arlo.Hendrix. Music is a big part of our family. So just like taking him to the record store. I feel like Steve will just like talk to Arlo about
that's cool.
All things Arlo wants to talk about.
Yeah.
So I feel like it is just like the local, shop owners and things that we've met. The library. We have like great experiences at the library every day.
Yeah.
So I think it's honestly for me, like being more introverted and having Arlo like actually be the one to start up these conversations with people. I'm like, everyone's so kind. And I had so much anxiety about him starting kindergarten.
Yeah.
I can't even tell you how much I had. And just like seeing him this year, I'm like, we live in such an amazing town with amazing teachers. And then I've met so many of the teachers from the other schools. I'm like, our schools are just so great. I couldn't have asked for a better set of people to like help him this first year. So I think that it's like those people that you just meet along your way. I mean, it's hard to find people in Batavia. It really is, you know?
Yeah.
Especially in these like more prominent places.
Yeah. Awesome. Thanks for listening to Area Code Batavia. We'll be back in 2 weeks with another episode. If you enjoyed this podcast, you should absolutely subscribe to the newsletter. Just click the link in the show notes. Most importantly, if you know someone who would love to hear this podcast, please share it with them. Word of mouth is the best way to grow our community and help more people feel like they belong in Batavia, Illinois. Area Code Batavia is produced by Area Code Audio. It's hosted and produced by me, Richard Clark, with additional production help from Jennifer Clark. Edited and mixed by Matt Linder.